People count. You count. And you can count on us to deliver real people stories from around the territory. This is People Count.
Hello and welcome to People Count. This week on the show, we are welcoming Captain Harold Laba Jr., who is the Corps Officer at the Santa Cruz Corps and the County Coordinator for the Santa Cruz County in the Golden State Division. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was, earlier this month, you had a special enrollment at your Easter sunrise service. So can you tell me a little bit about what made that special and unique at your Corps?
The Santa Cruz Corps, if many people know, it's unique in that it's up until recently, we had multiple congregations. We had a Spanish congregation and we had an English congregation, and they have been for many years completely separate. So when my wife and I arrived a year ago, we realized that most people in the two congregations did not even know each other, and they've both been in the building for years. So we decided to do a very strong push for unity, and so we would get to know each other better, and sort of, we were hoping to make the Corps look like heaven's supposed to look, right? And we're all not going to be divided by language or anything like that. So for months and months, we preached on unity. We talked about it in Bible studies, and English Bible studies, and Spanish Bible studies. And so what we decided was because we did a soldiership class, and we had senior soldiers that wanted to be enrolled. We decided to do it on a sunrise service on Easter morning at the same time that we do our first big combined meeting with both congregations together. So, and we've been doing so ever since. That was about a month ago, and so that's what we've done. We've studied up some, and we've seen other corps in the area implement the whole idea of multicultural corps and things like that. And we've been in sort of multicultural corps for most of our appointments, and we just thought it was time to make the idea a reality here in Santa Cruz. That's
great. Can you tell me a little bit about the people who were enrolled on that Sunday?
Yeah, that's different. The youngest we had was 15. He was one of our teenagers, and he's bilingual. And the oldest we had was 85, one of the ladies here in the Corps. So, and she too was bilingual. And then we had a whole bunch in between. We had, I think, a 27-year-old and then a married couple, I believe in their late 30s, and they were primarily Spanish speaking. And the young adult, the 27-year-old, she only speaks English. So we covered the whole spectrum. We had only Spanish, only English, those that were bilingual, 15 years old, 85 years old. So you couldn't get a much wider, variance in the amount of people or the type of people that we enrolled as soldiers that morning.
That's awesome.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's so cool. I love hearing stuff like that. Can you tell me a little bit about what else exciting is going on at your Corps?
Well, okay, so we do. I mean, the Corps typically it does many different social services, and we have a pretty strong EDS crew because we have a canteen truck that we use throughout the county, and the sort of the typical Corps activities that we have there. But at the same time, like I said, we have a very strong Spanish congregation, and with a lot of leaders and things like that, and we have. The building is used by the community as well. We have AA meetings that go on. We have a community shelter, an interfaith shelter that comes a couple of nights a month, and they do that. And we use the Corps for as much as we possibly can. And so that's all going very, very well. But with the strength of the Spanish congregation, we have many leaders, but at the same time, not all of the adults are bilingual. So even in the idea of unity and the idea of having our main meetings on Sunday being completely bilingual, everything is bilingual. The songs, the prayer, the sermon, everything is bilingual. At the same time, we still have Sunday school lessons in English and in Spanish in separate rooms. We still have Bible study during the week in English and in Spanish. And then we have praise and worship during the week in the evening. I think it's primarily in Spanish because there's some of the Spanish families that can't make it to the Sunday morning meeting because they work. So like I said, we've moved around our schedule a little bit and added things so everybody gets the opportunity to worship during the week. it is it's a unique experience. We've done the multicultural thing before in other appointments, but this it's different. It's just very, very different. A different community and different congregations.
That's awesome. So can you just tell me how the Western Territory can be praying for you and your Corps?
Oh, definitely. Well, for one, continue to pray for the unity part, because while it's easy to say, it's not always easy to teach. And we all like to be comfortable. We like to be comfortable in our own language. We like to be comfortable listening to sermons by people that we know and that we can understand. And we've realized that that it's not always the fact whether they understand it or not. Sometimes it's simple as we want to hear our language first. When you're translating, we want to hear Spanish first and then go ahead and translate it into English later, or the other way around. We want to hear English first, and we're looking at it like, why does that matter? That doesn't matter. But it turns out those little things like that do matter to people, and so we've worked hard on the multicultural aspect, on making sure everything is level, everything is even. So if we sing this song this morning in English first and in Spanish second, then the next song we sing in Spanish first and English second, and it's just little things like that. That way, everybody feels that it's fair. Everybody feels that no one gets slighted or no one gets preference over one or another. And for that matter, 2 weeks ago I preached in Spanish, which, if you know me, that's a stretch. And my wife stood next to me, who was bilingual, and she translated into English. And again, we don't do that very often either. But everybody understood. And it went over pretty well. I think nobody walked out. That was good. But I think if you can pray for us, pray for the continued unity, pray for the families that are here. Those many have decided that in the opportunity to be bilingual, they too want to be bilingual. So they've decided to sort of take up that cause and learn English or to learn Spanish. So continue to pray for that. We always need help with the unity and trying to show each other what Christ is like, no matter what language we speak.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come and share with us today. And I hope that people are encouraged by this and just continue to pray for you as you just seek to have these two congregations work together and worship together.
I thank you so much. I appreciate it. We definitely appreciate the prayers. I wish I could say it was easy. It's not easy. Yeah. However, I do believe that the rewards are amazing. And because of that, we've decided to go through with it. And people get on board, as it grows and things like that. So we definitely appreciate the prayers. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share. We look forward to continuing to do it more and more, and hopefully get bigger and we'll get back with you later on and tell you how it goes.
Thank you. Thank you for watching People Count. We'll see you next time.